I'm your Welcome 23, you joining me for Blades of Light and Shadow, Chapter 9, The Queen, Prince, and Exile. You awaken to find yourself spun in a cocoon dangling in a sprawling web. You've been captured by the drakna. Not good. You don't spot any drakna, but looking around you see several body-sized cocoons dangling around you, twitching and writhing. My friends must be in there. I have to get out of my cocoon and help them. The drakna could return at any moment. I will dissolve the cocoon, bite my way through it, wriggle out. Dissolve. Wiggle around in the cocoon, slip your hand into your satchel of supplies. I know it's in here somewhere. Finally, your fingers brush against the vial of cleansing tonic you use for treating wounds. You manage to pull it from the satchel and work the cork out of the vial and splash it against the inside of the cocoon. Come on. There's a soft hissing sound, then you feel a small tear form in the cocoon's wall. Yes! You drop the empty vial and work both of your hands into the tear, then rip it apart, freeing yourself at last. What is this place? It's their home. The drakna's webs sprawl across the treetops. You're up high on a long bridge made of glittering white webbing. You rush over to the nearest cocoon, tear it open. Imtora tumbles out, spitting and swearing. Rain, what in the name of the seven-assed sea whale is going on? The drakna brought us back to their lair for a feast, so we've got to move quick. I need your help. Imtora unsheathes her hand axe with a snarl. Just tell me what you need, but hurry, we don't have much time. I need you to stand guard. The drakna could be back at any minute. I need you to keep watch while I get the others out of their cocoons. You got it. Nothing I like more than killing bugs. Rush toward the next cocoon, tear it open, only to find a rotting skeleton. I sure hope that's not what I knew. Rain! Drakna! You spin around just in time to see a drakna rise up behind you. Good eye. Imtora leaps forward, axe in each hand, hurling herself at the beast. Die! She drives one axe into its back, but it thrashes, knocking her down. Ugh. Imtora. The drakna hovers over Imtora, stinger quivering. I should fire an arrow, use the environment. Kick it! You charge at the drakna, leap into the air to kick it away. Leave her alone. But it swivels around, lashing out and knocking you to the ground. Oof. The drakna knocks towards you, but Imtora rams into it, knocking it off the course. With a furious buzz, the creature flutters off to regroup. It won't be gone long. We can't lose any more time. Now, let's get the others free. Imtora shred open another cocoon, and Mal tumbles out, clutching his forehead. My head. What did I drink? Mal, snap out of it. We were taken by the drakna. There isn't much time. Damn it. I bet they tracked those asshole princes. Caught their fancy scent like lavender and cinnamon. Next to you, Tyrrell strides out of the cocoon in a burst of flames. He draws his blade, his gaze lethal. Tyrrell? I'm ready to kill some bugs now. Mal frees a panicking Nia from her cocoon. Threp hisses on her back, head poking out of her satchel. Mal, Rain, is that you? I thought I was having a nightmare. I couldn't breathe. Awful creatures, awful! Nearby, an exceptionally bulky cocoon thrashes and bursts apart. Prince Baldur tumbles out. Oh, that's horrendous. The bodyguards! Get me out of this nest at once! What about your brother? Leave the whelp! If we waste time saving him, the drakna will realize we're free. We can't leave him. That would be awful. He's your brother. Are you really so conceited you don't even care about your own flesh and blood? He's nothing but a liability bound to get himself killed sooner or later. He deserves no less for getting me into this mess in the first place. If we're leaving anyone behind, it's you. You dare! Over here, I think I see Prince Aaron, but... Behind the hollow where Nia's pointing, the last cocoon guarded by... Oh, it's adorable! It's a lot more adorable than the other thing. Is that... Baby drakna? The young drakna spots you, fluttering excitedly. scared off. You run towards it, waving your hands wildly. Shoo! Shoo, little guy! Go! Go! Roar! Startled baby drakna flutters off and hides. Knew that would work. Oh, I almost feel bad for it. You and me both. For the monster bug that would happily eat your face. Seriously? It did have some endearing qualities. Not you, too. Would you full focus? You cut open the last cocoon, Aaron tumbles out, gasping and blearily eyed. What happened? Aaron, don't worry, you're safe. Your brother wanted to leave you. Don't worry, you're safe. The drakna captured us, but you're out now. We've got you. Aaron breathes in deep, collecting himself, and then rises to his feet. Thank you, Rain. Thank you, all of you. Glance up at the hive. There aren't many drakna, and the few you seem occupied. You free the party without alerting the hive. Yay, we leveled up! Finally. Alright, let's look at survival. We have 2 wood sail, beastmaster. Combat would be bows. We've invested a little bit too much in that. Alright, you know what? We'll do survival and we'll do beastmaster because that's a thing. Looks like they haven't noticed we're free. We can still get out of this quietly. You descend to the base of the hive, soft orange clay bends underfoot, and a faint light flitters through the canopy of the webbing up ahead. I think that's the way out. While the ground suddenly rumbles and a furious buzzing fills the shadowy forest, the clay beneath your feet starts to crack. Boulder, remind us again why you came to this forest. To kill the drakna queen, but I don't see why that is written. Ah! Yep, it's relevant now, boy. It's relevant now. A massive drakna bursts out of the ground, triple the size of the ones you fought earlier. Gods protect us. The queen releases a chittering roar. Her mandibles and sword-like stinger glisten with deadly venom. Zzz, behind me now. Tyrrell darts forward, an orb glows in his hand, the one you found in the ancient elven ruins. Vasta Nirada del Pervos. He hurls the orb at the Drakna Queen, and a dazzling flash of light engulfs the entire hive. An arctic wind howls through the clearing, whipping snow and ice around the helpless Drakna Queen. Zzz, it's over, foul beast. It'll attack the Drakna Queen with a spear. Drakna Queen smashes down to earth, her body frozen, completely solid. Yes, that was amazing! But her frozen form shudders, the ice cracks, and the Queen bursts through. You have pissed her off. Less amazing. She's weakened, her carapace cracked, but in an unearthly roar, she lurches back into the air. That thing is too strong. The Queen plunges her stinger right at you, its tip glistening with venom. Zzz, dodge and strike, leap to the side, scream for help. I'm gonna dodge and strike. Remember Imtora's lesson of Zephyr form and gracefully dodge of the Queen's stinger, intangible as the wind. Too slow, your queenliness. You leap onto the Queen's back and bound up her body in 3 deft strides. With a neat flip, you drive your shoulder into the base of her skull, feeling it shatter from the force of your blow. Yes, that's my girl. The Queen thrashes in pain, tosses you off, and you land on the ground a few feet away as she smashes into a tree. Then, that's when you see it. One of her back legs twitches loosely, frayed at the joint. I'm gonna tear the leg off. You dive forward, grabbing the leg with both arms, and tear. Ichor sprays over you as the leg snaps off the Queen's body. The Queen flails violently, stumbling back into the center of the clearing. Look, she's wounded. The Drakna Queen flutters and sputters, bleeding sticky goo. Now's our chance. Priestess, boost me. Imtora leaps towards the Queen. Brandishing her axes, Nia throws out her hands, releasing a gust of wind, sends Imtora sailing over the Queen's head. Light guide you. Your Taurus spins in midair, severs both of the Queen's wings with a brutal chop. The Queen rise, spraying ichor everywhere. Looks like I'm up. Mal hurls 2 daggers as they streak through the air. Tyrrell flares out of hand, igniting the blades and scorching black flames. That should do the trick nicely. The daggers plunge deep into the Queen's eyes. Flames roil in her sockets as her skull burns from the inside out. I have something that will come in handy as well. Arrow hurls a handful of small beads that cling to the Queen's underbelly, blasting her with electric charges. Otter leaps in, driving his broadsword into her side with a vicious cry. Arrgh! The Queen flops to the ground, revealing a giant crack in her underbelly, and her beating yellow heart within. I'm gonna stab it. Die. You leap forward and drive your sword up to the hilt in the Queen's heart. The Queen shudders and falls still, limbs curling into her corpse. And stay dead. The drakna fly into a panic, fleeing their hive and scattering into the trees. Yes! Yes! We did it! We won! That beast will harm no more travelers. We've done a good thing. Hell yes, we did. We just killed a big ugly bug. Oh man, I'm never gonna stop telling this story. Otter walks over the Queen with a single massive swing of his broadsword. He severs her head from her body. What are you doing? It's called a trophy. Claiming the trophy for my kill, of course. Your kill. Tyrrell shoots you a glance. You stomp away from Boulder and join him at the other side of the body. Let the braggart keep the head. This is the real prize. He kneels down and severs the Queen's stinger, then hands it to you. A drakna's Queen's stinger is an extremely deadly weapon. The poison at the tip is among the strongest in the world. Hang on to this. Also make sure not to stab yourself. Right, I'll be careful not to actually stab myself with it. Hey, look at that. You wrap the stinger up in several layers of cloth and tuck it deep into your bag. Well then, this has been an excellent hunt, a fine addition to my collection. Yes, because that's what our palace needs, is more animal heads. You all collect yourselves and march on. Slowly but surely, the deadwood begins to thin. Ominous trees give way to lighter branches, and the sense of despair lifts. After several hours, you come upon a signpost at a fork in the road. One path leads to the Undermount, the other to White Tower. Very well. Well, I don't think we'll be needing your services anymore, mercenaries. I thought you were going to accompany us to Undermount. Nonsense. There's no need now that I've won my prize. He bats his bag, soaked through with the orange blood from the Queen's severed head. Much as I'd love to visit the Elven City, I agree that it's time to go home. I yearn for the simple comforts of White Tower Library. I yearn for swooning damsels who will flock to the palace to hear my heroic tale of slaying the Drakna Queen. Can you just give our payments and leave? Otto reaches into his bag and hands you a sack of coin. 50 gold, 10 each, there. 10 gold each, you promised us 20. Well, for the lackluster service provided, 10 feels adequate. Oh, but I lackluster service my fist through your face. Dearest brother, may I suggest paying the terrifying orc mercenary what she's owed? Grumbling, Balder pays you the rest. It has been an experience traveling with you. Have a safe trip back to White Tower. You were way too happy with these people. And give Lord Calvin Gilbottle our regards. Before they leave, Aaron walks over to you. I want to give you a gift before we go. It's something I found in the Deadwood before we met, but you should have it. He rifles through a satchel and takes out a lore tablet. It's inscribed with the information about the Shadow Court, its members, the power, the Dread Lord. I thought it might be useful in your travels. This tablet will tell you all about the Shadow Court and award you some bonus EXP. I'll take it. I'm assuming it's going to eventually reveal a puzzle piece or something, or like a puzzle. Thank you, Aaron. My pleasure. Oh, look at that. The final one, and it is a dragon. You got a lore tablet. You bid the princess one last goodbye, and Mal heaves a sigh of relief as they head back to the main road. I thought we'd never be rid of them. They weren't all bad. I think Aaron truly wants to do the right thing for the kingdom. Well, it's not like he's gonna get the chance to hip hurrah for monarchy. Am I right? Malvaloria, you sound like a revolutionary. Let's just say when folks take to the streets, I'll be right there with them. As you walk along the increasingly gentle trail, you take a moment to read over the tablet that Aaron gave you. Oh boy, prepare yourselves, boys and girls, for reading. Let's read about the history of the court. Read about the founding of the court. The Shadow Court began under the more benign name of the Society for Unorthodox Magic. At the height of the Great Elven Empire, 12 powerful mages gathered in the capital city of Valen to push the boundaries of known magic and explore the unknown. Some scholars claim their interests were unholy from the start, that society was merely a cover. Others believe they began with good intentions but were corrupted by what they found. One way or another, in their pursuit of greater magic, they made contact with the Shadow Realm and the Dreadlord, who promised them immortality and power beyond their imagining, if they swore to him. They swore. Founding of the court, Great War. The Great War began in Valen during the 875th year of Sky Warring Dynasty. Having pledged their service to the Dreadlord, the Shadow Court used their powerful relic, the Onyx Shards, to open a portal to our reality. A portal which the Dreadlord's armies swarmed through. Valen fell instantly. Hundreds of thousands were killed. Centuries of art, knowledge, and culture were destroyed in a single day. The Elven civilization was entirely unprepared. After centuries of peace, they had set aside their arms and retired their battle mages, and by the time they were able to marshal any opposition, half the continent had already fallen. It was only through the courage and brilliance of two elves, the General Zal and battle mage Alora, that the tide of the battle turned. The two rallied the remaining cities, and with the help of the young races, fought the court to a standstill. The end of the Great War is history's greatest conundrum. In many ways, this is the most important moment in the history of our world, and yet no record remains of how it happened. What we know can be summed up on the one parchment. The armies of the court met the armies of the elves at the great ancient bastion of Krekard. The Dreadlord himself was summoned, made flesh, and strode across the battlefields. Yet, when all was lost, the elven mages came together to perform one final ritual, a ritual that banished the Dreadlord, the Shadow Court, and all their minions back to their realm. A ritual that left every last elf gathered there dead as well. Read about known members. Duke Uthrax. In life, Duke Uthrax was known as the Bastion of House Steel Sorrow. A powerful battle mage, Bastion resented the peaceful era of the Sky Warring Dynasty. He believed that the strongest should rule and that the elves had allowed the weak to prosper instead. Once turned to shadow, Bastion became Duke Uthrax. He was the vanguard of the Shadow's armies, and a powerful warrior who also led the charge on the front lines. Uthrax relished combat and conquest and fought with an unbridled bloodlust and skill. He was known to summon creatures of shadow, such as hounds and gargoyles, to fight at his side. Duchess Xenia. In life, Duchess Xenia was known as a Elren of House Rosecoven. Renowned across the Empire for her beauty and wit, Elren was called the Rose of Valen, a pun on her family name. In private circles, Elren had an entirely different reputation, that of a cruel, manipulative noblewoman who relished in toying with the emotions of others, who smiled coldly as others dueled to the death in her name. Corrupted by the court, Elren became Duchess Xenia, a master of spycraft and intrigue. Xenia avoided the front lines of battle. Instead, she worked behind the scenes, gathering intelligence, corrupting the weak, sowing chaos within the ranks of the Elven army. Baron Vosterus. Baron Vosterus was known in life as the Timalius of House Goldenbear, a powerful politician and merchant. Timalius was a very influential in Valen, responsible for the society being founded in the first place. There were rumors about Timalius as well, as a taste for sadism, of dungeons hidden beneath his villa, of missing young women in his employ. Once a member of the court, Timalius became Baron Vostrus. A cunning strategist, Vostrus directed the court's forces and brokered alliance with those willing to side with the shadows. He also serves the court's torture, and less said of that, the better. The Shadow Realm. What do we know of the Shadow Realm? We know it's a world just like ours, a full reality of 2 rooms of the house are separated, so our realm and the Shadow Realm sit side by side. Some believe the Shadow Realm to be a dark mirror of our world, symmetrical but tainted, with each being here having an opposite there. Others believe it to be entirely different, perhaps unfathomably so. The most we know is that from the few who have caught glimpses of it through portals have survived. Their accounts are of a hellish landscape, blighted by darkness, overrun ruins shrouded in death and horror. Creatures of the realm. The Shadow Realm teems with creatures of darkness, monstrous beasts that leave seamless only to slaughter and destroy. Kinda like Doom. Shadow creatures take all forms: hounds, spirits, serpents, spiders, 10 feet tall, skeletal birds, flame-breathing drakes. The shadow creatures seem to exist at the surface of the Shadow Court, fighting at the command of its members. Are there any truly sentient and independent, or are they merely weapons deployed at the behest of their masters? The realm's corruption. Despite being sealed away, the Shadow Realm retains the ability to influence our world by entering the minds of the weak, desperate, and vulnerable. Speaking to people through their dreams, through whispered voices at the back of their minds, the Shadow Court can corrupt elves, orcs, humans, and seduce them into being agents of its agenda. These agents are rumored to exist all over Morella and operating in the shadow, working to undermine society and pave the way for the court's return. The Dread Lord. The Dread Lord is the monarch of the Shadow Realm. Very little is known about him, only that he is a creature of immense power and hunger, a terrifying force that controls all the realm and its creatures. Unlike the Shadow Court, who began life as the elves in Morella, the Dread Lord has always existed in the realm of Shadow. He was seen only once in our world at the Battle of Craighard, when he took the form of a towering, destructive colossus. The mortal form was killed in the battle, his bones still resting there. Some believe the Dread Lord died with it. Others believe his essence still remains in the Shadow Court, performing, perhaps seeking a new host. Done. Thrap wriggles out of Nia's pack, fluttering his wings and stretching luxuriously. Finally, I thought those two would never leave. Good riddance, if you ask me. Now, onto important matters. I am famished. Thrap, seriously, you're thinking of food? Of course I am! I take the fact that you're surprised as personal insult. The drakna almost killed us. Those were gross, orange, slimy guts and blood everywhere. Thrap nuzzles against you with a purr. You have an eternal gratitude for my dealing with the slimy blood and guts. Oh, great warrior Rain! But if you could have some sardines, it'd be even more of my gratitude. What's more than eternal? Eternal +1, but I suppose I can be patient. We'll be feasting on an elven delicacy soon enough. He raises a hand, bringing your conversation to a halt. Harold, do you hear that? You close your eyes and strain your ears and catch a faint echo deep in the woods, a taunty June barely audible over the breeze. I hear it. Is that music? Perhaps a group of travelers? What kind of suicidal travelers would be playing music here? A soft smile creeps across Tyrell's face as he listens to the music. Huh. Is him smiling a good thing or a bad thing? Could go either way if you ask me. It shouldn't be possible, but I think this is a Fae song. The Fae! I thought the Shadow Court wiped them out during the war. You thought the same about Nespers, did you not? Nespers. Perhaps a few survived like I did. Whatever it is, it does sound like fun. That music reminds me of the pub songs back in Riverbend. If there's any chance of witnessing Fae, we must seize it. My mother used to tell me stories about the Fae, tiny little magical creatures capable of making your dreams come true. Alright, Elf Boy, I'm in. Let's go see if we can find ourselves some Fae. But you can't to accompany us, Rain. This opportunity won't rise again. This is your chance to discover a truly unique creature with Mal and Tyrell and gain a powerful magic relic. Side quest: Fae or foe? I don't know, though. Let's go find some Fae. Tyrell leads the way, while you and Mal follow closely. So are Fae friendly, or should we expect a fight? Both, though it's not their fault. That's vague but intriguing. They're made of magic, down to the very essence. They warp reality without meaning to, conjuring and shifting the world on their whims. They throw wild parties beyond imagination, the stuff of dreams, and occasionally nightmares. It sounds like they'd be valuable allies. As long as you don't start trouble, Fae are joyous, friendly by nature. Return those feelings in kind and we'll be fine. Well, if that's the case, you're in trouble. Hero frowns at Mal, head cocked. Because you're bad at being joyous and friendly? That was the joke. It wasn't funny. You aren't funny. Is now really the time to bicker? Apologies. I am usually more adept at keeping my emotions controlled. Yeah, sorry for saying you're boring. Mal? Fine, sorry for being rude. Better? Much. Why did the Shadow Court wipe out the Fae anyways? Did they just hate fun? When the Great War started, both sides courted the Fae as allies, but they refused, preferring to stay neutral. The elves accepted that, the Shadow Court did not. Music begins to grow louder, coming from just beyond the hill up ahead. Hey, I think we're almost there. You crest the hill and behold a miracle. Magic circles of lights glows in the clearing down below, vanishing in the darkness. A lively jig from a hidden source plays all around. Dancing lights twirl and spiral around like serpents, chasing their own little tails. It's beautiful. I can't believe it. After all this time, they're still here. Alright, now this is how to celebrate escaping a drakna hive. Mal grabs your hand and pulls you into the middle of the clearing. Hey, what are you doing? Dancing, come on. Show me what they teach you in Riverbend. Social distancing, don't touch my hand. As Mal twists and shakes to the music, you feel an exhilarating energy wash over you. Let loose. Watch and learn your magnificence. You throw your arms up the air and start hopping and stomping to the infectious beat. Damn, you've got some moves, kid. I'm not the 5-time Riverbend Jig champion for nothing. And Mal twist around each other with reckless abandon, letting the swirling music guide your movements. Hey Mal, you thinking what I'm thinking? I'm thinking what you're thinking, exactly what I'm thinking. Okay. You both look at Tyrrell, who's still standing there where you left him. He lifts a hand warily as the two of you approach. That's quite alright. I'm perfectly happy to observe. Ah! Your Mal grab his arms and tug him into the clearing. You take both his hands and coax him into swing his shoulders from side to side, while Mal shows him a basic dance step. That's right, step this way, then that way, then this way again. Tyrrell, you're getting in. This is absolutely bearable. Oh man, Elf Boy's getting wild. You, Mal, and Tyrrell lose yourselves to the music. You don't know how much time has passed when Tyrrell comes to a sudden stop. Wait, something's wrong. You're having fun? Besides that... Oh god damn it. Tyrrell carefully scanned the tree line, his face falling. I don't understand. The stories that told the Fae Festival said they were so abundant, they would fill the air, but I don't see a single Fae. Maybe we can't see them because they're shy? We did just crash their party. Come on out, Fae. We just want to say hello. And join your party. Do you both smell sweetness in the air? And Mal give the air a sniff. Aside from the ever-present smell of fog, there's something else. It smells like bread and fruit. And notice that something's missing from the scene. Food. Oh no. In a flash, Tyrrell has drawn his blade. My deepest apologies, I have led us all into grave danger. You and Mal draw your weapons, huddling uneasily by Tyrrell. Alright, F-boy, what did you get us into? There's no Fae Festival, it's a trap of a rare sentient plant that lurks in the deadwood. An egovore. Trump? That's a bad-sounding name. And a fitting one at that. It uses pheromones to create illusions to lure people into lowering their guard. Then it feeds on their minds. Oh! Oh my god! That was like so right. That's better than feeding on their bodies, right? If it gets us, we slowly rot away, catatonic but fully aware, until we die of starvation. Oh man, I just wanted to dance. The egovore is masking itself in the illusion. Close off your senses, ready your weapon, and stay still. It needs contact to feed. If you feel anything touch you, kill it. Mal, stop touching my eyes. You shut your eyes and try desperately to ignore the sounds of music and the sweet smells of fruit. Quiet surrounds you. Tyrell? Mal? Hello? The chill runs through you, making you shudder, and then at last you hear a voice. Rain. Your eyes fly open, your heart pounding in chest. Rain, I'm so glad you're okay. Cade. You try to pull away, but your head feels woozy, clouded. You fell off the bar stool and hit your head, silly. Looks like you've had too much to drink. No, this isn't real. You're not real. You're trapped in the Shadow Realm. I'm traveling with a party of adventurers to collect the Onyx Shards. Rain, seriously, what's more likely? Your dreams of adventure came true, and the old legends are real, and the fate of the world rests on you and a merry band of adventurers. Or that you just fell and bumped your head. It's me, Rain, really? He steps forward and rests a hand on your shoulder. You're not real. You draw a dagger from your belt and drive it straight into Kate's chest. Pitch black blood spews out. Screw you! Kate lets out an unholy screech as he staggers back. His skin crumbles away, revealing... Hey, it's Swamp Thing! Be careful, it's still alive. Yes, even when you throw science and literature at it, it still comes at you. The egovore swipes you with lashing tendrils, but you dodge back as General blasts it with fire. The egovore hurls itself to the ground and tries to stifle out the flames with masterful precision. Mal hurls a dagger into its heart. It twitches a few times and then starts to wither. You, Tyrell, and Mal watch it panting. You alright, kid? Yeah, just a bit rattled. That thing showed me Cade. Tried to trick me into thinking you were all a dream. I saw myself restored in Undermount. How Star Fury ascendant and celebrated my family honored once more. What did you see, Mal? Doesn't matter. This is my fault. My foolishness, my desire to see the Fae, put us all in danger. I should have known better than to have hope. Tyrell, don't let the Shadow Court take your hope. It's not weakness to want things to be better. I've strived to better the world for a long time, but still wreathed in darkness. What matters is that you're still trying. If you kill your hope, you won't have any way to keep fighting the Shadow Court. Tyrell locks eyes with you, and you share a quiet moment of understanding. Thank you, Rain. You're right, my hope is my greatest strength. You and Tyrell turn to Mal, who's rooting through the egovore's chest cavity. What are you doing? First rule of adventuring, you kill a monster, you get some loot. You pull something very gooey and dripping out of the egovore's chest. What is that? It looks like a wand. Perhaps this wasn't a complete loss. Evogo's stalks contain the pheromones it's used on us. They generate illusions. This could prove to be a potent distraction, if need be. Oh, I can think of all sorts of fun ways to use this. I'm sure you can. Anyways, I suppose we're done here. We should head back before the others grow concerned. As you walk back, you gently pat Tyrell's arm. I'm sorry we didn't see the Fae, Tyrell, but perhaps one day we will still. And in the meantime, we unlocked your secret party animal. Tyrrell gives you both a tiny smile. I'll ask you to keep it a secret amongst yourselves. As night sets, you find yourselves setting up a camp at the forest edge where the tree line gives way to a tall, ominous mountain, Undermount itself. Looks even more intimidating than the deadwood. The creatures within it may wear pretty smiles, but they're no less deadly than those in the woods. Sounds like someone's got a chip on his shoulder. We rest here for the night. Tomorrow we climb the mountain path to the gates. Make quick work of setting up camp, though your supplies are running low. Oh, come on, I think the princes ate it the last of my rations. Yes, it was definitely them. Why, you sneaky little... Guys, relax. Let's still be ring free of the deadwood. I, for one, am thrilled to be off that road. It feels like breaking into a bottle of orcish bourbon. I thought you'd never offer. You unseal the bottle in your pack, and Tor and Mal join you to toast, though Nee and Tyrrell decline. I don't hate the deadwood. I just wish we could do more to heal it. We're one step closer to purifying the shards. Once we do that, maybe we'll be able to heal the rest of the realms as well. You're right. Let's just focus on helping your brother first. Decayed and gathering another shard. Everyone toasts but Tyrrell, who gazes off into the distance. Tyrrell, when we get to Undermount, how do we find the Onyx Shard? I'm not entirely sure. I know the shard is in Undermount. It's just getting to it that may prove challenging. Of course it will. Does this mean we won't have any time for delicately Gelvin cream cakes and honey wine? The shard was once safely guarded in the treasure hall of the house Sunscryer, one of the former ruling houses, but it was lost during the Civil War centuries ago. House Scryer's loyal lieutenants carried it into a maze of crypts beneath the city. When I search for evidence of it... He cuts himself off, swallowing hard and looking away. His tone becomes distant. There's no tangible evidence of where it's gone. You seem awfully on edge all of a sudden. What's really going on? It's nothing. I'm just trying to explain. Tyrrell, what are you telling us? You're hiding something. We need to know what it is if we're gonna find the shard. I can't say anything for certainty. I only know what I've experienced. Tyrrell, please tell us. I grew up in House Star Fury, heir to one of the wealthiest and most influential houses in all of Undermount. I was haughty, arrogant, brash. What do you mean, was? I befriended an elf named Kaya, of the much poorer House Duskraven. They'd fallen on hard times, but still travelled in noble circles. Kaya was my perfect foil. She was humble, funny, compassionate. She cared deeply for those in need and always kept my ego in check. She helped me see how to be a better person. She opened my eyes to the world. So what happened to her? Nothing good. Kaya was a historian in the Chronicler's Society. More than anything, she was fascinated by the Shadow Court. Oh dear. She believed the narrative of their defeat was incomplete. She left to visit all the major archives in the realm to gather more knowledge. She returned a year ago, but I had no idea. She didn't call on me. She never answered my letters. I don't like where this is going. Without any warning, she turned up at House Star Fury Ball. She was rude, dismissive when I tried to greet her. Then she insulted our guests to their faces. She was downright cruel, even to those who'd known her nothing but kindness. What did you do? I confronted her. She wasn't the humble, generous girl I'd grown up with. I was afraid she was in some kind of trouble. And in response, she challenged me to a duel. I would have liked to have seen that. I was the most skillful duelist in all of Undermount, and yet she defeated me. Easily. It was the most humiliating moment of my life. I brought shame on myself, my house. I fled the city, heartbroken to see what my friend had become. How did she beat you? I can guess. Her skills were unlike any I've ever seen, fast, ferocious, and with magical finesse that stunned everyone. So she left a research trip, and when she came back, she'd become crazy powerful. Sounds kind of like the Shadow Corn. She must have fallen under their influence during her travels. Either their agents manipulated her or the court's corruption. Either way, my closest friend in the clutches, I would find a way to get her back. We should approach her carefully. If she's under the Shadow Court's influence, she's likely won't listen to reason. And depending on how strong their hold is on her, it's possible she can't. Yes, I've considered that, but I have to try. I won't give up on her. We'll have to tread carefully when we reach Undermount if we want to learn the truth and find the Onyx Shard. It'll gaze at the mountain rising above you. I've put this off long enough. It's time for me to return home and face whatever demons await me there. You mean figuratively demons, right? Like catty, backstelvin, stabby, elven kind? Who knows what awaits us if Kaya's influence over the city has grown? He rises in a sudden flurry, clearly distraught by the emotions overcoming him. I'm sorry, I've troubled you all enough with my woes tonight. You should get some rest. I'm going to take a walk to clear my head. Tyrell paces away, lost in thought. This is a chance to comfort Tyrell in a moment of pain and get to know him better. Social quest, Tyrell's truth. Go with him. Tyrell, wait, I'll come with you, if you don't mind the company. Tyrell turns as you catch up to him. A small smile graces his lips, and he brushes his fingers against yours. I'd like that very much. You walk by his side in silence for a few minutes, though the thinning trees. After a while, he rests on a fallen log and points to the sky. Do you see that constellation? The one shaped like a set of scales. You sit beside him and look up at the sky, visibly clearly through the treetops. I see it. What the constellation is that? We call that one Aubusson, the judge. On Aubusson's day, we settle old debts or ask for forgiveness from them. So, what are your debts? My debts are many now. Doused our fury, for one. I left them hairless, with no word, no explanation. Your parents don't know why you left? My father knows I left because I lost a duel, but he doesn't know the truth of why. My greatest debt now is to Kaya, and I can't rest easily until she's freed from the Shadow Court's hold. What if it's not possible to free her from them? Tyrell turns towards you. For a moment, you're stunned by the depth of sadness in his eyes, and then it turns to fiery resolve. Then I will do what I must. As I did for the corrupted mayor, I will do as I did for the orc captain. You'd kill her? If I must. I just hope there is another way. He turns his face away from you, sorrow rolling off of him in waves. You give him a few minutes to his thoughts as you look up at the sky. Tyrell, do you have a favorite constellation? He turns back to you questioningly, an eyebrow quirked. Just trying to cheer you up. You're always full of surprises, Rain. He sweeps a hand across the sky, indicating a patch where the stars seem to blink in and out, though they're winking down at you. That's Kilip, the Reveler. The legend says he throws parties that lasted for weeks. They could spill out into the streets, fill up the city blocks. When he passed, his soul took its place in the stars to look upon new revelers. The elves remember him because he threw crazy parties. Sounds like he'd fit in with some pubs I know. Tyrell chuckles, and you feel the gloom lift around him. It's just that the parties he's remembered for, it's who he threw the parties for. Young, old, rich, poor, the high houses and the low. He was from a high house, but he defied many customs about social structure, and yet he isn't remembered for being reckless or arrogant. He sounds like he was a lot of fun. Legends say he was kind, and his kindness made him generous, and his generosity made him revelous, and his revelry spread great joy. That all adds up to me. Parties like Calypse, fabled ones, are no longer held in Undermount. We honor his qualities, but often fail to embody them. As an arrogant young elf, I dismissed the tales at first, but I grew to admire him when I started to realize how selfish I was. You ever throw a crazy week-long party in his honor? What do you think? But I wonder what it would be like, being joyful with all the Undermount, seeing all the elves brought together by fun. This Clep would have loved Cade. My brother knows a thing or two about fun, trust me. Get Cade up on a table with a pint of ale, singing some ancient bard's tale, and the party's lasting for hours. You hear a strange noise, and when you look over at Tyrrell, he covers his mouth with a hand, his face lit up with humor. No way, was that a laugh just now? It was. Speaking with you always cheers me. It fills me with a lightness I don't know how to describe. Well, I'll just go ahead and cheer Tyrrell up and make him laugh off my list of things to do by the end of our quest. I look forward to meeting your brother when we free him from the realm of shadow. He sounds like a lively character. Knowing him and knowing you, I think he'll probably get on your nerves. I doubt he could annoy me as much as the other members of our party. Ouch, I won't tell Mel. Grin at each other, but to your surprise, his expression falls. What's wrong? This feeling. Friendship, companionship, I'm not used to it. Before I found you, Kay was the only person I trusted in the whole world. Everyone else wanted to use me, and I wanted to use them. I'm sure that's not true. It is. And it made me so closed off. I never let myself see the value in people. Now, well, it's a difficult habit to shake. What I'm trying to say is that I'm sorry, Rain, that I'm not a better companion to you. I think you're perfectly fine, companion Tyrrell. I'm really happy you're on our side. I feel fortunate to be. You've shown me that people can be courageous, strong, trustworthy, and enjoyable to talk to, just to talk with no ulterior motives. It can be so pleasant. He gazes in your eyes, and you see stars reflected in his. Being around you inspires me to be better. Tyrrell's eyes slide shut as you lean in and kiss him. He touches your cheek tenderly, and you feel the smile on his lips. I've been dying to kiss you again. Cups your face as he kisses slowly, deeply, like the two of you have all the time in the world. I've been looking forward to this too. He chuckles, lips brushing over your jaw and down your neck. You give me such joy, Rain, and I hope I do the same for you. Your stomach swoops as he hooks an arm around your back and leans over you, laying you gently against the log you've been sitting on. His lips caress your neck as his hands run down your sides in slow, tender caresses, making you shiver. I'd say you're doing a pretty good job of it, but I have one suggestion. Draw him back and gently nip his lower lip, his pupils dilate, and you whisper against his mouth, "This." With a growl, he seals his mouth to yours, swallowing a gasp. His hair cascades around you as he kisses you with fervor. It's so hard to control myself around you, Rain. One of his hands trails down to squeeze your thigh. No need to control yourself. He laughs throatily, moving back to just far enough to look into your face. He touches your cheeks again, expression tender. You really are like a star in the sky. So bright, so radiant. You pull him back to you. His kisses are languid, comforting. They make all your worries and fears slip away. Finally, reluctantly, he helps you back up and smooths down your ruffled hair with a bashful grin. As much as I could do this all night long, I suppose we should head back and get our rest. Tomorrow is a big day. The two of you rise together and make your way down the path back towards camp. Owen, Rain. Tyrrell smiles gratefully at you. I am in your debt for everything, but by Abason's grace, I will repay you. We'll save your brother. I'm sure of it. So am I. The next morning, you awaken and prepare for the trek up to Undermount gates. Is that the entrance? It's massive and well guarded. Several armored elves stand at the front holding long spears. They'll just let us in, right? It's been a year since he's been home. He already said this. He doesn't know. Gerald stares ahead at his home, a dark look in his eyes. We're about to find out. Will you get into Undermount, and what challenges await you within its stony halls? Thank you all for tuning in. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Please! You know, it's as simple as just pressing that like button, and then you also get to share with your friends, your family, and share this community, share these videos. It's greatly appreciated, and it's a great way of expanding this community, especially in these hard times. And, you know, I'm trying to pump out more content than ever because I know what's going on in the world, and it's a way of alleviating you guys' stress, worry, and so many other things that are going on, and hopefully I'm able to do that. Without discussing it further, let's go into a small little thing here of... Every time I go to sleep, I have really, really vivid dreams. And most times I wake up from those dreams with no problems whatsoever. But, and the reason why I'm mentioning this is because of that, the Egovore is, I know how that feels to get lost in a memory. I know how that feels to get lost in a dream, and you don't want to wake up. And, you really don't. So, it's extremely difficult, because I know there's a test ahead of me. One test that is going to I'm either going to give in and sleep that eternal sleep, or I'll awaken. In a way, it happens for a lot of people who eventually go through a challenge that pushes them to the brink of giving up or not. So that's just a thought I'd share. It's difficult if you're not prepared for that moment, and I don't think you ever truly are. You try, but sometimes the memories and dreams and whatnot are just so strong. It just is like trying to escape tar or quicksand. But in a way, you just don't want to either. Yeah. A little deepness there for the creature we encountered in this book. So far, this book isn't bad. However, apparently it's going on hiatus. We have no high school story. Bloodbound's on hiatus. Oh, Pixelberry, you're killing us. Come on now. Without further ado, for those who are interested and are still here, Animal Crossing and Doom Eternal this week on Twitch. I'll be streaming. Link down below. That's where you should follow me. We're going to be streaming a lot. I will also be streaming here very shortly on Twitch as well. I've been streaming my heart out, like I said, trying to provide as much content as humanly possible to you guys, because I know what it means. And especially in this trying time of crapola, yeah, trying to make you guys feel better about what's going on and kind of alleviate your mind. So thanks for watching. Catch you all in the next video. Peace.